What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another random movie review. I got some of the normal crew with us, but I got a couple special guests with us tonight. Got Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective. What's up, my friend?
What's going on? What's going on? How y'all doing?
All right, all right, all right. Good to see you, man.
I think Tommy's the perfect person to have for this movie, especially.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And we got Jens Fetter. What's going on, Jens? How you doing, man?
Yeah, doing good. Watched the Transformers movie. Always good and good solid.
Awesome.
Yeah. Watch, yeah.
And next, I got my co-star, Slasher McSplitter. How you doing, my friend?
What's good, brother?
Oh man, just enjoying the evening, watching a movie with some friends of mine, and now we're gonna sit and talk about it.
Oh, it's fun.
Oh yeah. How do I word this? I tried wording it earlier, but she didn't quite get it. But another special guest of mine. She usually sits in with us every week. Moira Kitty, how you doing, Peaches?
I'm doing all right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Could have sounded a little bit more enthused, but that's okay.
Oh, that was the best I could do because usually when people ask you how you doing, they don't actually want to hear the answer to that. That was the best I could muster after today.
Oh, it's okay. It's all right. And I know you were here for most of the movie. You feel like chiming in if you want. You don't have to. Letting you know you have options.
Yeah, because to be fair, so the audience understands, I thought it was the movie Transformers. I didn't realize it was the cartoon.
No more. This is the movie.
But I've been checked out the whole fucking.
Yeah,
More.
I'm
This is the only movie. There is no other movie. I don't know what you're talking about.
What?
If you're talking about Michael Bay, Michael Bay's are not movies.
I
They're
don't know who
garbage.
the fuck Michael Bay is. I don't care enough about movies to know who that is. But I do.
But
like,
it is a movie. Moira, this
before
was
compared to the
Shia
film.
LaBeouf lost his mind.
Yeah.
Moira.
Compared
This,
to the film.
this was legit in the theaters, Moira. This was in the theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the live action
I
films got more
win.
Optimus Prime in it.
Yeah, we're not talking about Bayformers. But anyway, and last but not least, I got my friend, my cohort, business partner, so to speak, Hodstar. What's up, man?
Hey, JJ. Hello, everybody. Good to see Tommy. Good to see Jens. Always, of course, Slasher and Moira. I see you more than I see Tommy and Jens on the stream. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good, brother. It's my weekend.
Awesome.
This is my Saturday, and I got to hang out with some of my friends here and watch a movie. So it's been a great night.
Awesome. I'm glad.
Having a couple adult beverages. So just relax.
Cheers, brother.
Same here. And before we can get going a little bit, I'm just going to look through the chat real quick. Early on, long before we started, Jason Lee Tucker, man, he came in saying the movie is fire, which I can honestly agree with. I love this movie. Mark came in. He said he don't even know if he's seen this one or not.
What's up, Mar?
And hey, Candy, how you doing, darling? Good to see you.
What's up, Candy Cane?
Krish,
What's
thanks
up,
for popping
Chris?
in, man. What's up? What's up? Nendroid,
Android
what's going on?
RR.
RR, man. This someone ain't been to my channel in a while, man. What's good? What's good, man? What's going on?
I hadn't seen RR in a while.
We appreciate you all coming. Make sure that you share that link out. Make sure you smash that like button, and let's go ahead and let's start talking about this shit.
Oh,
yeah, man.
What's going on?
Shifty, what's up?
Shifty hits us with the best. We were just talking about this backstage.
If you want, I could do karaoke of this song.
Optic Racer, how you doing? What's up?
Hey, Arctic.
Yeah,
How you doing, man?
All right. Usually, what I try to do with these reviews is I got some questions I'm going to ask. You know, you want to give your own iterations and talk about it. That's fine. But first off, I want to start with just a general consensus. Maura, did you want to weigh in on it any?
no.
Okay.
No.
Slasher. Your overall thoughts of this movie.
All right. So Tommy is a diehard Transformers fan. Right? I was never a diehard Transformers fan, but I did love this movie, and I saw it way later than I, should have.
Right.
The storyline's awesome, of course. The whole shit with the angry space hemorrhoid called Unicron.
Unicron. Yeah.
And, like
if he found you, your papers are not in order.
yeah, he'll get your papers right the fucking order.
Yep.
I love it. The music too. Yeah, RR. The music is fucking. With the exception of one song that could be subtracted, and Han and I agreed on this. But yeah.
Without Alkovic.
I agree.
We'll get into that.
Totally agree with that, Jason Lee.
Yeah, we'll get into that when it's discussed more, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and we're gonna eventually do this one too one day. Top Gun.
I love that movie. That's one of my favorite. Next to Red Dawn, that's probably one of my favorite.
Another awesome movie, awesome soundtrack.
I was not a fan of the movie Top Gun.
I don't know if we can be friends anymore, so I sure damn.
All right, I'm gonna go later, bro.
He's a maverick.
Nah, I just I didn't really like Top Gun, but we're not talking about Top Gun yet.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, Transformers. Yeah. Yeah, continue, man. Continue.
Anything else you want me to?
No, just your overall impressions, man. What you thought about it, you liked it, hated it, whatever, Just something tidy, something quick and tidy.
It was a good movie. There you go, quick and tidy. Good movie overall. It's like I said, I wasn't hugely invested in the characters, but okay. Well, I will say this: when Optimus Prime died. Sorry, spoiler alert for this movie for me.
Yeah.
Whoops, sorry.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it by now,
it's been a lot. It's been a long time since I've seen this movie. I honestly thought they brought him back.
But when
they did much later on.
When Optimus Prime died, it was a very sad scene. Like even as an adult, to see Optimus Prime's eyes, like his sad eyes while he's on the table, and, giving his dying speech, it was sad.
Especially for a character that you grew up on, I watched the cartoon series, and when I saw this, I was a little bit, if not a lot more older. It came out in '86. I didn't see it until almost '90.
I think I saw it later than that. Holy shit!
I'm like, man, fucking Optimus got killed. What is this shit? And then later on in the movie, you hear one of the guys go, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "What movie is this?"
Yeah, that I'm sure I saw this movie at some point when I was younger because I loved the cartoon. Had some of the toys, but yeah, even now as an adult, that kind of took me off guard when they threw out, "Oh shit!" I was like,
"See, I missed it again."
It's actually a lot closer to the beginning of the movie. It's not really at the end. When they first say it, because they actually say it when the moon base is being overtaken, where Spike and Bumblebee are. That's when it's first said.
This is probably the third or fourth time I've sat through this movie. This is kind of one of those movies I see once every 5 years since I've seen it.
And that's exactly right. Our Orson Welles' last performance, yes.
And Shifty Gism also said he did hate it, and that it was actually a favor from the producer of this. He called in a favor to Orson Welles to get him to come in and do this voiceover because they wanted somebody dark and sinister. Originally, believe it or not, though, they weren't going to go with Orson Welles. They were actually thinking about going with James Earl Jones, but James Earl Jones wasn't available, so they wound up, tapping in a favor to Orson Welles to bring him in to come in and narrate, Unicron's voice.
Well, it was 1986, so James Earl Jones was probably busy doing Soul Man at the time.
Or Morgan Freeman, the best narrator ever. Well, James Earl Jones is good too.
All
I
right,
think
all right.
Morgan Freeman was-
Tommy,
Yeah.
yeah, your overall impressions of the movie, man.
Well, I don't even have to. So you know what my overall impressions are.
I know, but damn, can you make it short and
Chat,
sweet?
the chat doesn't know yet though.
Well, yeah, I mean, anybody who knows me, and most of the people that are in the chat probably know me well enough already that they know Transformers is my favorite franchise of all times, and I love this one. This one was the definitive movie for me, and there has not been another Transformers movie yet that has done it right as far as I'm concerned, because this one delved into all the stuff that they started with Marvel Comics, because Marvel Comics is where it all started for Transformers. Went from Marvel Comics, then Marvel and Sunbow. You got to remember, when Sunbow did the cartoons, they were still getting information from Marvel. So Marvel was actually invested with Sunbow when they created that cartoon. They did change some things, however, and it wasn't exactly the same as the comic, but they kept most of the main parts of the story the same. And of course, the way the characters were supposed to be, with a few mistakes along the way, such as Rumble and Frenzy. They mixed up their colors on the cartoon. That's why Rumble appears in blue and Frenzy is red. Or, yeah. But
Okay.
overall, no, this hit all the right notes as far as a Transformer fan that grew up with the toys. And since I was a fan before it was even Transformers, and I seen how it evolved, yeah, this movie is the definitive movie for me as far as any of the other ones ever released.
Awesome. Jens.
Yeah. Oh, great movie. So when I was a kid and it came out though, the mates told me that Optimus Prime dies, so I never watched it until I got older and that and could appreciate it more. Because it's more adult, I think, with the war, a big war going on from start to finish from this film. So you got to be
It really is a pretty adult themed movie.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
agree with that.
and as Tommy in saying, but when we was watching that film, it was picking out all the fucking faults in it. It was like, oh yeah, they've got to do a transformer there when they shouldn't have, and so there is mistake, but unless you're a sort of diehard sort of Transformers fan, you won't really notice that much. Because I didn't. Because there's so many fucking Transformers around, flying, and the battles going on and that is. But great animation and all, some nice.
Yeah, the animation was real good.
Yeah, old school animation.
Yep.
Yeah, they actually drew this shit.
Yeah, and
Unicron moving around looks Unicron when he's floating around in space. It looks fucking awesome.
but they had some nice fight scenes and all, which was nicely drawn and that. Obviously, there's some bits that are a bit rushed and cartoony, but it is animation and there's so much put in there. But it's well actiony.
Okay. All right. On. What you got?
My distilled
Overall,
down statement for the beginning of the stream is I agree with it. It's almost like the movie was ahead of its time, because it's almost like this movie was made for adults that grew up with Transformers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's almost like it was ahead of its time. I'll just say it's the first time I watched the movie, because I'm sure I saw it as a kid, but I don't remember, because JJ knows how my memory is. I just remember the cartoon and the toys, really. But the shit
What's up,
surprised
LG?
me.
What's
And,
up, LG?
In my opinion, looking back on my childhood, I enjoyed the movie, but it didn't meet up to my expectations of what I remember as a kid. You know how it is, you remember stuff from when you were a kid, like you ate at a certain place or watched
Yeah.
a certain thing, and you're like, oh man, I remember that was
Man, you
awesome
got like
when I was a kid, and then you see
like
it
a
again
flashback.
now.
get
You see it now,
flashbacks.
like I'm 42, and you see it now, and nothing ever really lives up to what.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's called McDonald's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my
That's another good example.
that's my distilled down quick and dirty statement to start the stream.
Well,
Okay.
I think that's part of the lens of looking at it from a much older perspective too.
Rose,
You know, a much more
rose-colored-
seasoned perspective.
Rose-colored glasses. is the
Rose-tinted
easiest way to-
glasses,
or, yeah,
right?
rose-tinted glasses is the.
Yeah.
I mean,
the
me
easiest way to
for
say
me myself though, this one is actually it's one of those movies, and I know everybody on this panel probably has a movie that they watched from a long time ago that's never lost its charm.
Yeah.
For me, this is one of them. And now, a big part of that is going to be obviously because I'm such a huge Transformers fan and always have been. So it's one of those things that I've never felt that it's degraded over time for me. It's always held that same charm that it has when I seen it when I was younger. So
All right. Shifty Gizm says it came out in '86 thanks to Don Johnson holding up production of the G.I. Joe movie,
Yeah.
which in turn got G.I. Joe's theatrical run canceled when Transformers bombed.
that is
Movie
true.
bombed.
That is
This
true.
movie
That
bombed.
is true.
It bombed.
Yes,
It
it did bomb.
bombed?
But Transformers is not the only reason. I will correct that. Transformers is not the only reason why G.I. Joe did not get a theatrical release.
I know
was,
it didn't.
It,
I
it
know
was. It was.
right to
well,
VHS or TV.
Yeah. But that's not the only reason why it got canceled. That wasn't the only reason. The other reason was because there was another Hasbro released movie that came out I'm trying to remember. I think it was just prior to Transformers being released, and that was My Little Pony the movie. My Little Pony the movie flopped so hard. It flopped so hard, and then when Transformers failed to meet expectations and did poorly in the theater as well, that's when they decided, okay, we had two movies in a row that did not do well in the theaters. That's when they decided to go straight to VHS with the G.I. Joe movie.
Well, what I heard about the G.I. Joe movie was because they had to, because they were going to make Falcon in G.I. Joe the main character. They were going to kill off Duke and make Falcon the main character. I heard what they did with this movie by killing off Optimus and making Rodimus Prime the main character. I heard it was kind of like a domino effect.
Well, here's the thing. This is the difference between G.I. Joe and Transformers. And, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to get into this now, JJ.
Go ahead.
All
Here we
right.
go.
So the biggest difference between G.I. Joe and Transformers,
Hey,
G.I.
Raquel.
Joe wasn't. What's going on? They weren't actually looking at G.I. Joe to change their toy line the way Transformers were. Now, the reason that this movie had all these deaths in it is because they were canceling what was essentially the 84 line. Now, the 84 line that first started off with Optimus Prime, Jazz, Megatron, and so on and so on, they carried over into 85. By 86, they wanted to get rid of what was originally the 84 line, and they wanted to move these new characters in. They didn't even have new characters necessarily on hand that they wanted to move in, so they were trying to figure out a way to get rid of the old characters, and that's where they came up with the idea from the movie. So all these characters, unlike the previous iterations where the toys were created first, then they created the comic books, then they created the cartoons. This one, they created the characters in the movie first. They took the initial concept design of all these characters that they made in the movie, with the exception of a few like RC and like the Alicons and the Equinosons and a few others, and of course Unicron.
The little kid and his father.
Yeah. Well, they never made those. I mean, unless you look back to the Diaclone area where they actually had teeny tiny little figures with magnetic feet that used to go with the toys. But what they did is they created all these first. They sent the original concept designs over to Hasbro and Takara, and that's when Hasbro and Takara took the concept designs, and that's when they started making the toys. So that was the huge difference here. They were looking to kill off all these characters to push the new toy line that they were going to be coming up with, which was based on the movie. It's kind of a weird set of circumstances, like I said, because usually the toys will come out first. This was the first time that it was done the opposite way. But that's why there was such a big push to kill all these characters. So that's why in the beginning of the show, when they're attacking the Autobot ship, they kill off Prowl, they kill off Ratchet, they kill off Brawn, they kill off Ironhide. That's why all these characters died right away. And then when you get to the Autobot base, you see Wheeljack lying there in ruins, you see Windcharger lying in ruins, and you got to assume at that point that all the old characters that you remember from that first 84 line, that they all died. Even though you don't see them on screen, they're gone. That's why characters like Jetfire never made an appearance in this movie, because at that point Hasbro had actually already lost the licensing to create the Jetfire character, because they were getting that from Bandai and Macross from the Robotech series. So they already lost the license to be able to do that. Shockwave was another one that they lost the license of, because that was from another company overseas that they actually got the license from. They had already lost the license to reproduce him as well at the time. So even though they showed him in the movie, when Unicron brings his hand down and he's attacking Cybertron, it is presumed that Shockwave is gone. Because when they come back with the next series, you don't see Shockwave anymore. What's going on, Bone?
Yeah, killing the Optimus Prime.
We got Raquel in the chat saying hi to Moira and Han and me and Slasher.
I thought Raquel and Darius would end up watching the movie with us today.
I know. I feel betrayed by them.
I don't remember if you highlighted it or not, JJ. A little bit, quite a bit farther up. RR kind of says what we were saying too.
Oh, Prime's death was very Arthurian.
No, animation. No, animation still holds up today. It's beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Apart from killing off Optimus Prime, which is so stupid.
Well, yeah, because if you guys noticed when the movie started, first thing out of my mouth, yeah, they're still drawing this shit here.
Yeah.
This is all hand drawn.
But they should have killed off Optimus Prime, though.
They had to, Jens. They had. Did you not hear what I said?
This movie is. The way I made it out was this movie.
Hasbro had to move the toys out, so all those characters had to die. I mean, with the exception of Bumblebee, Jazz, Cliff Jumper, and there was one other one.
Yeah, but killing off
because they were going to get re-released
was too far. It's like killing off He-Man.
Okay, they had to
be done.
Optimus Prime.
They did bring him back much later on. They did bring him back much later on, though, because there was so much outcry over them killing Optimus Prime that they decided to bring him back. And originally it was a one-shot, and they were going to bring him back, and then they were going to kill him again. So then they actually brought him back a second time when they had the Red Scourge that wound up going around the planet, and it was affecting everybody, and then they brought Optimus Prime back a second time. So, yeah, Optimus Prime is actually brought back twice.
In the original cartoon run.
In the original cartoon run, yeah.
So
they brought him back twice.
So he might as well just be a fucking Highlander. So he's immortal, basically.
Yeah, but it's a robot thing, isn't he? So he just gets the.
He's a Highlander robot.
Yeah, but he gets the Matrix power, doesn't he? That like reboosts him. More like Doctor Who, maybe.
But yeah. To me, it's another one of the movies. I don't care if it flopped at the theater or not. It entertained me. I enjoyed it. Great piece of work.
I want to hit David's comment real quick. And you said you mean the popular, likable Transformers. Well, that's a funny thing. Even Bumblebee, he was fairly popular, but he was not as popular as he is now because they've pushed the character so much. Back then, he was not that popular of a character.
Yeah, because with all of the Transformers movies, I'm talking about the Bayformers, Optimus is not even the center of the attraction of all these movies. It's Bumblebee. If anybody's ever noticed that, it's always Bumblebee. They even give him his standalone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's still there though. Optimus Prime, though. He comes in unlike the cartoon movie.
Why did they give him a standalone movie?
Probably because he was so popular in focus groups and all that stuff from the movies he was in before his own movie. I'm sure they figured it would make a shit ton of money, so That's
Well,
why.
yeah, I mean that's why they do most of them. But then, when they kept Jazz and Cliffjumper alive, originally they weren't supposed to. Originally they were supposed to be killed off too, but
No, you ain't gonna kill off
somebody.
You ain't gonna kill off Scatman Carruthers, man. You
Well,
can't
no,
do it.
somebody decided that they were going to do a re-release of Jazz at some point, so that's why they kept him alive. Cliffjumper, yeah, he was another one they were planning on redoing somehow. They were supposed to bring him back out as a character again, but they didn't really wind up redoing either one of those characters into Generation 2. So,
Yeah, you're absolutely right, David. He played Galvatron in this movie, but the one you're talking about, I think it's Dark Side of the Moon. He plays another Prime. I can't remember the name, but
Okay, what RR says right now? See, I know, like little next to nothing when it comes to Transformers, but I actually do remember that. How the
No,
fuck
and
do I
here's-
remember that? How the fuck
Yeah,
do I
that-
remember that?
that was the funny thing. There were some people that argued that Goldbug wasn't, but I actually had that toy when they released those throttle bots, and it's clearly said right on the packaging it was an upgraded Bumblebee. So,
well, ain't no difference in damn Hot Rod and Rodimus. What kind of name is Rodimus? Sounds like a porn name. Hey, I'm Rodimus Prime. You know,
well, I don't know. Wouldn't Hot Rod sound more like a porn name?
Hot
No,
Rod.
got my Hot Rod.
What about Hot Rodimus?
I'm not taking this off topic, JD. This is just a really quick statement because anybody that's ever been on a stream with me has heard this beginning of any statement I make a lot of times. I work with a guy and his nickname is Hot Rod. And he's not a porn star.
okay, cool.
Does he at least have the porn mustache?
No, actually, he doesn't. He got the nickname because he's an
Used to race with
engineer.
pinks.
He's a
He was racing for
locomotive.
pink?
No, he's a locomotive engineer, and he used to be known for pushing the limit of what you could legally do as far as speed on a train.
If he became a porn star, though, do you think he'd use the?
No,
Oh,
the porn star name is another guy I work with, and his name is Rod Smith. That's his actual.
His mom really put a lot of thought into that name.
That's his government name, as people like to say, is Rod
I
Smith.
said that.
I'm sorry,
Mark
JJ.
Krell, I don't know what comic you were reading, but there was no comic where Bumblebee landed on Earth and was a scout. I'm sorry. I know those
Maybe
comics
they had a
inside and
different
out.
comic book in Europe. I don't know.
Even the UK versions, they pretty much kept to the same storyline that Marvel had already released. So there was no comic, unless it's a more modern comic. There was no comic back then.
That was
What he said back in the 80s.
in the 80th.
In the
Well,
80s.
I think he meant
80s. Yeah.
That's
They still had a wall up.
Well, more lives in Germany. They might have different stuff over there than we do.
They might not allow certain storylines to be put out
that was
there.
like I said, I never saw the comics. All I know is that was a Michael Bay thing, right? That he sent Bumblebee
Right.
as like a scout to Earth.
Yeah,
Alright,
'cause here's the thing. There was a book I had, and it talked about the beginning of that story, and that story had remained unchanged. And there was a war on Cybertron, and the Autobots and Decepticons had formed factions. They were killing each other, and how that story concludes is the same way that it did it in the Sunbow cartoon. That they got on a ship, they went to leave. Now, it was two different reasons. In the comic book, they were actually punching through a big asteroid field that was heading towards Cybertron because Cybertron had broken loose of its orbit and it was hurtling through space in the universe. So they had to destroy this big asteroid field that was heading towards Cybertron. While they were out on the ship destroying all these asteroids, the Decepticons attacked, and you get the same thing. And Optimus actually steers the Ark towards Earth to purposely crash it to destroy the Decepticons along with them. And the Sunbow, they just attack, and then the ship just crashes. That story remained unchanged through all the iterations of the Transformers early on. That didn't change until Michael Bay. Michael Bay is the first one, and people say, well, it's not his movie. Bumblebee wasn't his movie. Guess what? His name is still listed on there as being a producer and being behind the scenes. So you know what? it's still Bayformers, and that's when the story was changing, and they created this whole new scenario where Bumblebee goes down first.
Well,
Nonsense.
JJ, look at Optic Racer's comic.
Are you talking about? So is the movie that good? Is that what you're talking about?
Listen,
So, let's talk
Optic.
about the movie.
If you like animation, it's a great animated movie. It's not that long. It's an hour and 26 minutes. If you like Weird Al, it's a plus for you. It's got a killer.
No. If you like Stan Bush, Stan Bush is the guy that you
He's-
want to hear.
He's trying
For
to
the
hit a nerve.
80s.
I think he's trying to hit a nerve with you and I.
No, seriously. For the 80s, it had a killer soundtrack to it. Hand drawn animation that you don't see hardly anymore. It's a really good movie.
Even if
let's
you
delve
don't
it-
care, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Slugger. Even if you
No,
don't care
I was
about necessarily the Transformers, if you like
No,
80s movies and good
it's-
soundtracks,
Like I
the
was saying,
animation alone is worth.
I was
watching this movie.
saying before, I was not a huge Transformers fan as a kid. Like I thought the toys were cool, but because when you're a kid busy with other things and collecting other things, like you kind of like don't end up collecting certain other things or getting into certain other things. You know what I mean? Like, but they'll keep your interest, right?
No.
All right.
Hey,
So
JJ?
what's the next
Hey,
question, JJ?
Hang on.
JJ, I just want to put this to bed real quick. So I looked up Marvel UK Transformers #1, and I just read through the synopsis of the entire comic book, and it is exactly the same as what would be the US version. There is absolutely no difference.
Mara's from Germany, though, right? Would there be possibly a change, or is that like what they got in the UK is the European
They
release?
would have gotten the Marvel UK version.
Oh
Is what they
shit!
would have got.
Hey, my boy Fester.
There you go, German
Fester
bootleg.
is up in here.
All right. Real quick.
JJ,
Hey,
my friend Frank is up in here in the chat. So
Hey, what's up, Frank?
Hey, hello.
How you doing?
Fester 814.
Raquel, I asked last night, or I was making mention last night of anybody that wanted to come and watch was more than welcome. I wasn't aware that you may have been interested or not. I don't know. But in the future, if we get to talk or whatever, and you want to watch a movie that we're doing, please, by all means, let me know. You'll be invited. You'll be up here if you wish. We'll talk about the movie. But I do appreciate you being here.
Are you going to use the same chat, JJ, or are you going to do a separate DM group for each?
No. If people want to come on,
Hey, look, JJ, I brought a viewer to your channel, Frank 814.
thank you.
I was just
But
saying,
no,
if you wanted to
want,
add her to the DM group, then she could decide if she wanted to come or not, or participate or not.
thank you. I was about to say that sounds kind of nasty,
Well,
bro.
my brain really quick was like, no, Han, that's not appropriate. Change it.
Lube or no lube?
You
Yeah.
got the.
Well, he's got plenty of lube, man. He's got
All right, you
he's
have
got that
to play-
industrial.
while you're in the act, you have to play. You got the touch. Dun, dun, dun.
Optic Racer.
Okay,
It
Optic.
depends. I'm not speaking, but it depends on the length of the movie.
Oh, I wish Optic Racer would friggin' be on Twitter or something so I could get,
Well, no,
more
Optic.
contact.
Optic. Most of these movies that we've done so far, this is number 11. Most of them I own in some form or fashion. So I'll just, or even if I don't own them, I do have several streaming services that have these older movies. So we'll go and I'll share the screen and share the movie. We'll all sit and watch it. And when it's over with, we'll go live like we're doing right now and talk about the movie, give our thoughts on it.
But to answer your question, Optic Racer, we watch it on StreamYard, which is what we're using right now.
Yeah. Because we watch the movies on Vudu, Hulu, HBO Max.
Yeah.
Me and
on-
JJ had to watch one on DVD.
We're gonna have to.
DVD.
We're gonna have to do that when we do GI Joe because I can't find a digital copy I can rent or buy.
Hey, JJ, this version, this was just a regular clean version, like a 25th anniversary? Or you're not
No.
sure?
No, not that I'm aware of. It didn't say 25th anniversary.
Okay,
Well, I
because
know- I
there's a
When the-
25th anniversary, and then there's also a 30th anniversary one, and the 30th anniversary one has cleaned up graphics and brighter colors.
Tommy, when JJ started playing the movie, it had the updated Hasbro logo. It had
did
the
have-
current day Hasbro logo.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
so
did, but
it's
it just says
Yeah, it didn't
Transformers
say,
the movie.
Yeah, it didn't
Yeah.
say anything about being a special edition. Although
Well,
it did
no,
have the
even-
newer logo,
I'm-
so it could be.
I'm about to show where we watched it at, and Tommy, you can make the assumption yourself. That's all it said. Transformers the movie.
Well,
That's the 30th anniversary edition. See
Yeah.
the graphics on it for the Transformers the movie, the actual like what would be the cover art for
Yeah,
the
like the box.
DVD?
What would be
Yeah,
the
yeah.
box? Or,
That's
Yeah.
the 30th anniversary, and that's with the cleaned up graphics and everything. That's why it looks so good. Because
When
if
the-
you look at the original version of it, it looks faded out by the time they put it on DVD. Because you
When
remember,
it-
all they had was VHS and everything at the time, and everything was
Yeah,
still
yeah,
real
yeah.
to real. So
When the movie started and they started playing, like they started showing the logos for all the companies involved in it, it was the updated Hasbro logo that they showed.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes I had to do this for I believe it was Firefox. We
Yeah,
had
it was Firefox. Yeah,
no. Yeah. It was Firefox.
it was Firefox.
I do own DVDs of some of these movies that I don't have digital copies of, but very rarely do we have to do that. Now we're going to have to do that with G.I. Joe, so that's a given. But still, usually all the movies is something. We come to the agreement. Me and Slasher do. I pick one week. He picks one the next week. And we will, go from there. If I can find it, I'll buy it, rent it, whatever.
Oh, I have my
if I'm
next one
streaming-
picked out. I have my next one picked out.
Well, save it till later.
Do you have a list of questions, JJ? What's the next question?
Okay, yeah, I do. But
Because
no,
Tommy could
back-
basically run this stream for the next 5 hours.
I'm trying to be respectful.
I'm not trying to offend you. I'm not trying to offend you, Tommy, at all.
Candy Cane, have a good night.
Good night, Candy Cane.
Good night.
See you, darling.
And yes,
have a good one, darling.
I did like this movie.
Thank you for coming in. But yeah, just a quick rundown of it. Like I said, it reminded me of my childhood, and I watched it probably as a late teen, early adult. It still hit me hard, when Optimus gets killed, man. It's like, man, your childhood's dying off, and if I understood Tommy correctly earlier, it's like the passing of the torch, so to speak, and it was meant to meant to be, like most movies, like this, animated or not. It's a big toy commercial, because kids love this shit.
That's what I was going to say, JJ, especially from what Tommy was saying, not to interrupt you.
Yeah,
What we forget, I think, as adults, like we said, looking back with rose-tinted glasses, is this was, as you just said, a big toy commercial.
yeah,
We just think about how we enjoyed the cartoon series or the movie or whatever, and we don't
Right.
think about them. This was totally made to push the toys, to make money off
Mhm.
the toys.
Well, it was rated PG for one word, basically, and a bunch of
Exactly.
cartoons dying. Well, two reasons. My bad. I'm just learning to count, y'all. So just bear with me.
No, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but
violence
still.
ain't one shit.
Yeah, but it's still a kids movie because kids watch this stuff.
Well, that
Yeah.
was a difference. You can get away with a lot more in a cartoon movie than you could actually on network TV. And I think that was the big difference why they had to do it in the movie, because it was going to be such a grand exit for a lot of these characters that they were getting rid of out of the toy line. That's why they had to do it in the movie. They couldn't do it on TV. It was just not
Right.
possible.
Yeah,
Right.
regardless of shit, the one shit.
And there was a dam too. There was a dam also.
I didn't notice that, but I agree with you, Tommy, that they had to do it on the movie for flat out killing Transformers.
Like within the first 5 minutes, like boom,
Yeah,
boom,
they-
boom, boom,
yeah,
boom.
They
massacre.
started killing them off. Like you just
Massacre
said,
in the
within,
ship
like,
in the first 5 minutes.
Sales a lot. Gone.
Well, but anyway, yeah, I love the movie. You know, it's a great reminder of my childhood. It's been a while since I've seen it. It was good to see it. So I'm gonna move along, and this is gonna be the longer one. I think this is the longer question. Slasher, tell me what you liked about this movie.
I thought I said everything I liked about it.
Well, listen. First is your overall impression.
Okay,
Second is
alright,
what you like.
All right. The story was good. Good story. Animation was great. The soundtrack, other than the Weird Al song, the Weird Al song, the Weird Al song was very ill-fitting for the movie. It didn't kind of like compared to the rest of the soundtrack. It did not belong. I guess for the stupid part that where that song came in, yeah.
See you, Fester.
All right, man.
Well,
Take care, man. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's my friend from a couple blocks away from me, by the way.
a Slasher. What about like even RR said, all the great lines that are in that one, the ones that are always repeated, like "till all are one," and
Yeah.
stuff like
Yeah.
that just carried on, and it carried on into the
One
comics
shall
and everything. too.
stand, one shall fall.
Mhm.
All right.
Such heroic nonsense.
Okay. One thing I really, really enjoyed about this was after Starscream thought he was such hot shit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And he has this fucking coronation for himself, and fucking Galvatron comes in and just boom,
Yeah.
Done.
Shit all over him. Basically.
and his little crown comes tinkering down the stairs, and Galvatron is just wham,
Yeah.
just stomps on that shit.
Galvatron basically comes in and pimp slaps him right
Yeah.
upside the face, like, "Oh, you're hot
yeah.
shit.
That
Look at
was
that."
That was awesome.
I like it where it's like Megatron, is
I
that you?
would say that's one of the best parts of the movie. Actually, I would say that's one of the
Is
best
that
parts.
you? There's a hit.
Yeah,
And
it's
then-
Boom!
And if you could get into his mind, I'm sure he was like, "Megatron, is that you? Oh fuck!"
yeah.
All right. Tommy. Anything? What'd you like about this movie?
There really wasn't a whole lot that I didn't like about this movie. Unlike Slasher, I actually like Weird Al's "Dare to Be Stupid" in there. This is what I was saying to everybody in the back too. I think it actually epitomizes like how ridiculous the Junkions are as characters, because their whole society is based off TV talk.
Yeah.
So
Not every
they are ridiculous, really, in the way that they operate. They're able to do things that other Transformers can't do, like
And
the whole
they're-
thing how they put Ultra Magnus back together.
And they're really over the top.
And shined
see what you were
his
saying.
ass
They're-
up.
And
Well,
I see what you're saying. They're really over the top
Mm-hmm.
because
They're-
of
they're
the whole
extremely
TV,
ridiculous.
because the whole TV talk and stuff tie in.
Well, I mean,
God,
not even that. When they get blasted
God, I
apart,
hate
they
those
just
things.
kind of put themselves back together and keep going too. I mean, they're completely ridiculous.
I hate those things.
They completely outdo the Constructicons.
And then
Yeah.
let's not forget about all the wonderful voice actors that they brought in for this one. Not only did they bring back Peter Cullen and Frank Welker, and then Casey Kasem, Scatman Crothers. I mean, not only
Casey Kasem was in the credits.
Yes.
Casey Kasem does the voice of Cliffjumper.
I totally
Oh,
missed
yeah.
that. I totally missed that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not only did they bring back all those wonderful voice actors already that we remember from the cartoons, but then they brought in people like Leonard Nimoy. They brought in Orson
I knew
Welles,
all those. but I
Judd
did not
Nelson,
see
Eric
his-
Idle, like all those, and
Robert Stack.
Pacino
I'm
Yeah,
on the same
Robert
page.
Stack, yeah.
doing the voice of Blur.
I'm on the same page, Slasher. I totally missed that.
Yeah, I didn't even see him in the credits. Casey Kasem.
Yeah. Yeah, because Casey Kasem, if I'm not correct, please correct me, Tommy. But even Casey Kasem was in GI Joe.
Yes.
Oh, who the
Yeah,
hell was
Casey?
he? Yeah, he couldn't have
Casey
been.
Kasem. He did a lot of those voices for a lot of different
Okay.
cartoons back in
Well,
the 80s.
yeah, I
so-
know. He was Shaggy. He was Robin. I know that.
But I mean, as far as that, I mean, the animation was. I think it stands up to most, if not all, the other animation that you see even today. Like some of the stuff that I see DC do, some of it is really good. Some of it is piss poor, and I think this stands up to all of that. It's the kind of animation where they took their time. I actually have a few of the cells from the original Sunbow cartoon, and even the original cells of that cartoon alone are pretty amazing looking as standalones. Now, granted, when you start getting into the movement stuff, they kind of lose a little bit of the detail and everything. But overall, this movie was amazing, not only just for all the voice actors they brought in, the animation, music, but the story itself. Even though they killed off some of these amazing characters, they did it in a way, especially with Prime, no matter how much people hate it, they made it epic.
Yep.
I agree. Yeah, I agree on that.
All right. Jens, man, what'd you like about it?
Where Alkovich was in it doing his songs, and I thought that was the best thing about it. Like, how Alkovich.
He thought his
Oh,
song
yeah,
was
yeah.
the best thing about it.
Yeah, it didn't work. No. And the thing I liked was all the action and that, and the way Hot Rod, from being a bit of a like pussy soy boy, like, well, he won't put it, but he was sort of like, no, I'm not going to be.
All right, Jens. All right, Jens. This ain't your bitch ass soy nerds. Okay.
No, but he
Jens,
was a bit
Jens throws
afraid
out
at
the
first.
soy boy.
He had to bring it up somehow.
Yeah. But yeah, it was. But he was like, no, I'm. And then at the end, when like he's got no other choice but to like
Not up.
warm up. Yeah. And that, yeah, he's got the touch and all that, and then he's like,
But you know what? He did.
He was
Listen,
Steve
you know
Mac.
what? He did
I know,
nut up because they were in the beginning. They were like, "Oh, this is Prime's fight versus Megatron. Don't get involved, Hot Rod." And then he tries to help Optimus fight.
popped up, didn't he? He did the old, oh yeah, I'll get like caught and get used as a fucking human shield, and then that fuck.
Well, I don't think his intent was to be used as a human shield. His intent was to get the gun away from fucking Meg. First of all, why does Megatron got to reach for a goddamn gun on the floor when he's got a goddamn cannon on his fucking arm?
I agree. I agree with that.
Well, no,
part.
he
Motherfucker got
already
a
lost
cannon
it.
on his arm and he's
Yeah,
reaching
he
for
lost the cannon
Winky-
by then, though.
his winky dink little gun on the floor.
He lost the cannon by then already, Slasher.
Oh yeah,
You
because
mean the ability to use the cannon.
No, he lost the cannon. Prime
Okay.
knocked it off his arm.
and
prior
when
to that.
when he pieces out, he has to literally like pick the cannon up and take it with him.
Yeah, Rumble's carrying the cannon while
Okay,
Soundwave
okay.
is carrying
Okay.
Megatron.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. You know, there's certain things everybody's going to miss. I mean, I know this movie inside and out, so
It's all good.
I just spot all that shit.
The way the Hot Rod though, in the end though, he like takes command and his voice gets deeper. I noticed that. He's all like, roll out, transform and roll out. His voice
And he
is-
turned into a sports car with a trailer.
yeah.
Which
So he's got more like weight behind him when he's smashing through thingy's eyeball at the end.
which his voice getting deeper and him turning into a sports car with a trailer kind of harkens back to him in Optimus Prime. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. Han, what did you like about it?
My favorite things about the movie, number one, of course, would be, which we've already talked about, would be the animation. The old school animation, I agree with I think everybody pretty much on this panel has said still holds up today, and we look back on the old school animation and wish that we could have more old school animation now, although we probably won't really have that. I agree the soundtrack was great. Slasher, as we have said, Slasher and I already agree, the Weird Al song I didn't like. Although, I will say, Tommy, your explanation while we were watching the movie of why the song was there did make more sense to me, which it didn't make me like the song, but it did make me think in my mind why it made sense to put it in the movie. Because like
he had
you were
machine
saying,
guns in his
they're
jumblies.
over the top, and
Oh yeah, his gun nipples.
oh
Motherfucker
yeah,
had
the
gun
gun, yeah,
nipples.
we were talking about the gun, and I believe it was RR earlier in the chat, and this was also a positive to me. Basically, from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie, there's not ever a lull in the movie.
No,
It's basically
no.
non-stop action for an hour and 20 minutes. I won't even say basically. It is non-stop action for an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think what you get at the most, you probably get maybe about 2 or 3 minutes worth of dialogue in between,
Yeah,
and then something happens.
and and compared to a lot of movies, that isn't even a lull anymore compared to modern movies.
It's not Shia LaBeouf getting the Transformers to
Yeah.
hide around his
Yeah.
parents'
There-
house, and they're
there's-
destroying everything.
There's not like
that
a
bullshit.
20-minute. There's not like a 20-minute lull in the movie where they just talk about stuff in this movie.
Dialogue goes down and all when the Dinobots appear. Because
But yeah, that's
only one of them.
that's kind of my takes, JJ. Is I love the animation, I love the soundtrack, I love the action from beginning to end. Other than like Tommy was saying, maybe a minute or two here and there. But honestly, there was so much action that I didn't even notice the minute or two here and there of the slight lull.
Optimus
in the
Prime
action.
dying.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that's my favorite parts of the movie.
Okay. And here comes the easy question, because I've heard what everybody's been saying and what they thought of the movie. Here's the easy part of it, and I could probably tell where Slasher may be going with this question, but and it's very brief. Was there anything that you didn't like about the movie?
That I didn't like about the movie. Those fucking annoying things. Those annoying. I hate those fucking things. Fuck those things.
Junkions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Eric Idle doing the voice.
I hate those things.
Bye, Raquel. Good to see you.
Bye, Raquel.
Have a good night, Raquel.
Have a good night, darling.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
That's about the only thing I hate about the movie.
And
Okay.
I'm waiting for Tommy's answer because I believe Tommy's going to say he didn't dislike anything in the movie. Not to take away your
pretty
not
sure
to
he's
take,
gonna say he didn't
not
like
to
it.
take away your thunder, Tommy. But
No, I'm-
Why don't you let me go last then?
No,
So you
you-
can build up the suspense.
I already said what I didn't like about it. Also, like
Okay.
one other thing, is they passed the mantle, the one dude to the other dude for the Autobots. It's like boom, boom. Like you did that real quick.
Okay. All right. At the guinea pig's request, he'll go last. Jens, man, was there anything you didn't like about it?
Well, obviously the big main one was Optimus Prime dying in it.
Dying.
So, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I agree, because that's not necessarily a part that was expected to be liked.
No. You're right. Because as I say, like, I think it did damage the box office.
Kind of did damage to the franchise too for a bit, right?
But I do like Tommy's explanation though about this was basically like we were.
You didn't
talking
like
about.
that it ended.
This was to sell toys. So I like Tommy's explanation of all that shit
Oh, yeah.
happened because they wanted to sell new toys and
Yeah,
they wanted
yeah.
to reboot the line. But I
Yeah,
do
yeah.
agree that Optimus getting killed was not a highlight to me either.
Oh no, for selling toys, it's a good idea, but for selling movie tickets, it's a bad idea. So
Yeah.
And I could and like Slasher, I mean not to call you out, but from us in the backstage, but it upset Slasher. So you can imagine at the time in
Yeah.
the '80s, kids that were
Oh,
really
yeah.
kids that were really tied to Transformers.
No, I
can
wasn't
see
though.
that.
I wasn't. I was
Well,
not
Yeah.
tied to
I'm-
Transformers
Well-
as a kid. I was not. That's the
But-
amazing.
It was-
thing. I was not.
But I'm
It was-
saying kids that were really tied to Transformers. I
yeah,
can
Yeah.
see that being a very upsetting scene to a young 8, 9, 10-year-old watching this
Yeah.
yeah,
movie.
Yeah,
yeah.
but
You had such sad eyes.
Yeah.
go ahead.
Luckily, no, I got
Go ahead,
told-
Jens. Continue. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Continue, Jens.
Cheers, JJ. Yeah, I would say, luckily enough, I got told that by a mate who'd gone seen the Transformers movie, and so he said, "Oh yeah, Optimus Prime dies." And so I was like, "Oh, well, I don't want to see it." Because it would have been like, "Oh yeah, it was real good. Optimus Prime kicks ass at the end and gets like the touch and all this." I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go see that." But because I
Can't stay in the touch.
So yeah.
Okay. Was there anything else?
Yeah, I say, a great film and that soundtrack and action and drawing and that, and it was just like Optimus Prime should have been in it more. That's why the live action sort of films that they do Transformers I like because it's got Optimus Prime in a lot. But yeah, the Cartoon 1986 movie though, it is real good once you like get over the fact that Optimus Prime dies.
Okay. All right. Han, what about you?
My main negative of the movie, and I hate to say this because it's totally a personal thing, and we talked about it a little bit earlier, Rose Tinted Glasses. It didn't hold up to my memory of watching the cartoon, and I'm sure, like I said, I don't remember. I'm sure I saw this movie. It's probably on VHS as a kid because I didn't go to movies a lot as a kid. I didn't really think it held up to me, to my expectations of what I remember as a kid from Transformers. I also didn't like the universal greeting because it makes me think of Family Guy where he goes to that Italian restaurant and they're like, "You don't even speak Italian." He just keeps going bippity boopity, and the Italian guy's like bippity boopity, bippity, and they just keep going bippity boopity, bippity boopity. So the universal greeting for, like I said, this is kind of personal again. The universal greeting kind of threw me off, and
I was expecting Klaatu, Barada, Nick Toe. You know.
yeah, and
Um,
the, like I said, holding up to me of my expectations from what I remember as a kid watching the cartoon. It didn't strike me like I remember the cartoon, etc., striking me as a kid.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Which is a totally personal thing. So that really doesn't say anything about the movie. It just says
But
something
all in
about
all,
my thoughts about the movie.
yeah. But all in all, did you enjoy the movie after seeing it after so long?
I totally enjoyed the movie. So like I said, some of the things I didn't like are basically, other than the universal greeting, would be totally personal just to my memory and what I remember, from years ago.
Okay. And before I move on, Tommy, this is in the chat for you.
Yeah, I know. He's talking about something that came out much later. I'm sorry, Mark, you're still wrong. Because the original run of the Transformers comics came out in between 83 to 84. That's something that's coming out a couple years later. That is not the original starting point of the story. That is something that they created much later on. So it's not the original story. So I'm sorry. It's still not the original story.
Is this going back into the Bumblebee movie?
Yeah. This is going back into the Bumblebee movie.
This is going back to the statement of Bumblebee being sent as a scout to Earth,
Oh,
like
okay.
the
I didn't
the Michael
see the
Bay
Bumblebee movie,
stuff.
Yeah. So that was something that was created. It was created after the original story was already penned out. It was already sent through the UK and everywhere else. This was something that they created as a standalone, separate from Marvel. So I don't even think it's officially recognized as being part of the overall Transformer lore. Because you could easily go on the Transformers lore through Hasbro, Takara, and everything like that, and those things are not recognized. A lot of the stories that were printed exclusively in the UK as well are also not recognized as being part of the canon of the Transformers. There's a book out there, it's called the Book of Primus, and that talks about everything that was considered canon as far as the Transformers series went. And those type stories are not considered part of it because they were stories written outside the main canon.
Did you just say the Book of Primus?
The Book of Primus sounds like it would be an album by Primus.
Yeah, man, it sounds like a book about the band.
Well, what it was is when they get further into the comics, they actually explain where Unicron and what becomes known as Primus, where he comes from. Because you hear, like, sometimes you'll hear for Primus' sake or Primus this or Primus that. Well, the whole idea of a prime is supposed to be somebody who's attached to Primus, who is supposed to be like the main god of the Transformers. So basically what happened is there was a war between these two gods. One was called Primus, one was called Unicron, and they were on equal footing, but Primus felt he was going to lose. So he opened a wormhole portal into another dimension, and as they went through, Primus crashed into an asteroid, Unicron crashed into an asteroid, and then they had to reformat their bodies. Primus reformatted himself into Cybertron, and Unicron reformatted himself into a planet that eats other planets.
Not to jump in on what you're saying, Tommy, but from what we were talking about while we watched the movie, especially I think Slasher and I and others, instead of calling him Unicron for the rest of the stream, can we call him the Space Anus?
No, I like Angry Space Hemorrhoid. I like
Well,
that.
yeah. Especially with the thing.
Yeah.
Or Ash for short. Angry Space Hemorrhoid. Ash.
That's a good acronym, JJ. Especially shooting from the hip like that.
And then JJ was like, we were watching the movie, JJ's like, there's something in the twirling dildo. And me and her were like, only if Unicron was still in Angry Space Hemorrhoid mode.
Yeah, if he was still in the angry hemorrhoid and they had the boring ship, which basically looked like an auger, I think that would have been the end of the movie when they poured in.
JJ said they're gonna send in the twirling dildo.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, when the twirling dildo got there, he wasn't the angry space hemorrhoid anymore.
Yeah,
Well,
right?
no, but they done. But by this time they done infiltrated the system, so we saw him give him diarrhea.
Well, yeah, that's why he was an angry space anus, because there was a lot of diarrhea. And yes, David.
Yes, David. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, RR. That was always a dream fight.
Yeah, Planet Destroyed versus Planet Destroyer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Anyway,
that was the easy question, JJ.
Yeah, I know, because sometimes there's hard questions and sometimes there's easy questions, and we all pretty much had the same outlook on the movie. So I knew there wasn't going to be much to talk about stuff we didn't like. I know Slasher didn't care for a song. Oh, big deal. And I know everybody.
It's just one
Damn.
song. It's just one song.
But
I'm on Team
One-
Slasher. Although
one goddamn song is not going to take away my opinion of the movie.
I'm on Team Slasher. Although I'm glad Tommy was there because he did make me think that the song made more sense, whether I liked it in the movie or not.
Well, and I know none of us cared for the fact that Optimus got killed, and along with all the other
All right, I will
first
say
gen Autobots.
it
Which
did
we're
serve
not really
its
supposed to
purpose.
care for that.
It's like him dying did serve a purpose, though. It
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
for nothing. It served a purpose.
Yeah, but
At
we
least
didn't even
he
get
died.
Rodimus Prime for the last 15 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, because he was the next one to get the mantle. Like boom, boom. They went this way. Boom, boom. I hand the mantle
I
to
know.
this guy, then you hand the mantle to this guy. It's like, okay.
All right. Now, the last question is a rather simple one. And for God's sake, Slasher, yes, a letter.
Oh, you didn't get to what I hated about it.
That's right.
Oh shit!
Yes, Mr. Guinea Pig himself. What did
I
you
didn't know
not
you
like
knew
about this
about
movie?
this.
Actually, believe it or not, and I know RR probably doesn't think that there would be a problem with that I would have with anything in this movie because I love this movie, I really do. But there are a few problems. There are a few problems with this movie. Number one, there's a few inconsistencies in the movie. You see certain characters in certain parts of the movie that are not supposed to be there yet, like when the Decepticons first start attacking. Well, actually, right before they start attacking. You see Sunstreaker and you see Bluestreak sitting there on Earth. They're not supposed to even be there yet because they're coming with Prime in the shuttle. There's a few other characters that you see. You see them. It looks like they're destroyed and that they show up later. Like you see the Insecticons are all thrown out of Blitzwing to be turned into some of the sweeps. Some one's going to be turned into Scourge or no, I'm sorry, Cyclonus. And yet later on during Starscream's coronation, you see a couple Insecticons standing out there for the coronation. So
Which I wouldn't have noticed, Tommy, if you hadn't pointed that out. So I'm glad you were here watching the movie with us.
Yeah, this is what Tommy was like through the film.
Well, I mean, other than that, here's the thing with that. I mean, even though that wasn't there, that was something that was actually done a whole lot in the original Sunbow cartoon as well. They miscolored characters. That's how they wound up having different jets because they were going to make Starscream and a couple others on Cybertron originally, but they miscolored them. So they just created a whole new Decepticon jets, and there was a whole lot of things that they've done throughout the Sunbow run that wound up bleeding over into the '86 movie as well. And a lot of it was misplacements of characters or maybe miscolorations of characters. So it's something that I don't like, but it's something I tolerate because it's something that's happened throughout the entire franchise. And it even happened in the Marvel comic books, too. There was a few miscolorations and characters being out of place. So that would probably be the only thing I didn't like. I mean, it's a very small quip about a problem that a lot of these animators had when they were doing this stuff because they were under the gun to get so many panels done per day and everything.
Your only complaint is editing, basically.
Basically, yeah.
And I don't like the word canon, but I see what you're saying is there was errors in the timeline of the canon.
Which is a cartoon. You expect that because you let animators just go crazy and start drawing all this crazy shit. You're going to see mistakes, whether they're meant to be there or not.
Yeah, and as Tommy was just saying, I'm not saying they didn't remember the original story that they were drawing for, but there would be mistakes because, like Tommy was saying, there's somebody behind the scenes saying, draw this many panels in this amount of time. We got to get this stuff out.
Yeah, the continuity was hard because there's so many like Transformers in that film. I think. Yeah.
Well, even on the TV series of both of these cartoons, you see there were huge animation problems. So between GI Joe and Transformers, they fucked up a lot of things with the animation.
Okay.
Go back and watch these, and you'll see it.
Anything else, Tommy, that you didn't like?
No, that was about it.
Oh, cool. Awesome. And now, and I apologize for skipping over you because you threw my track right off the rails. The last question is a rather simple one. And like I said, yes, Slasher, it is a letter. If you were to give this movie a grade, what would you give it? Go ahead, Slasher.
Hey,
Okay. All right.
see, that Weird Al song did not take away from my fucking view of this movie. Okay? See?
It didn't mine either.
Ah, goodness.
Hey,
Okay. Moira, you made it clear you didn't realize the movie we were watching was the cartoon. So,
Right. I'm just saying the
this-
slasher was adorable. I know it's so
She
cute.
thought we were
this-
watching Michael Bay.
no, this movie apply. I mean, this question applies to you as well. You sat through most of it. If you had to give it a grade, what would you give it?
I'll give it a C because, like, I was here, but, like, mentally I was completely checked out, bro. I was like, nope. So I'll just give it a C. Like, it barely passes because I was really disappointed it was cartoon.
damn it, you have to start watching these movies with us, Moira.
From the
maybe I
beginning.
fully understood what the heck I was watching.
From
And
the
I mean,
beginning,
besides, I wanted to
Moira.
keep these fuckers company.
I've watched these movies with you several times, and you show up sometimes like the last 30 minutes of the movie.
That's when the movie's really, really lousy, except for Universal Soldier when nobody warned me and I was pissed.
Listen. Hold on. You knew you had to know it was a cartoon because I tweeted this out a little while ago. All right,
Dude,
and I used
I'm
the
gonna be
same
straight with
background.
you. I see your stuff and I just give it a like and a retweet to show love, and sometimes I don't really pay attention to what the fuck I'm retweeting. And I know
Sometimes
everybody
you
at some point does that, but don't pretend y'all fucking don't out in the audience.
Sometimes you gotta pay attention.
Man, what?
Wow,
What is it with Chris's that sound like this? I need to go in the other room and smack the other Chris and be like, you know that fucker in there sounds like you?
You know,
I'm
the
not
truth comes
complaining
out, but
about
that's okay. That's all right. The truth comes out.
Yeah, Moira's like
Um,
retweets some of my stuff. And
Okay.
she rubbed it when it was showing off, so yeah.
All right, Tommy, give me a grade, man. What you got?
I would give it an A plus. I mean, the very few problems that I had with this movie don't detract away from the rest of it because the rest of it was amazingly done, in my opinion.
Okay. All right. Jens, what kind of grade do you give it?
Well, for an Optimus Prime movie about an X,
He's gonna get. I knew he was gonna give it like
but for like
F minus.
yeah, as I say, it's one of them. Like if you like Hot Rod and that, and you can like sort of get over the fact Optimus Prime dies in the first 10 or 20 minutes of the film, then yeah, an A. Give it an A because like as I say, class action from start to finish, and good anime.
Not many dull moments. Not
No.
really any
No,
dull moments in
no,
this
and-
movie.
Apart from
And,
Optimus,
and the few dull moments, like we were saying earlier, you didn't really notice because there was so
I
much action.
understand, like
well,
those annoying-
Optimus Prime getting killed.
Well,
That was
those,
really-
those
Yeah.
even those annoying
Oh,
beep, 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 beep guys, even those guys, like it wasn't a dull moment because I was annoyed. I wasn't bored. I was annoyed. So I guess that brought an emotion out of me.
Yeah.
I
Well-
hate those fucking things.
All right, Han.
I would give the soundtrack an A. I know we're not giving the soundtrack a grade, but I would give the soundtrack a grade.
I'd give the soundtrack an A.
Or
Minus
almost,
that
I mean,
Weird Al
close to an A plus, minus the one song that Slasher and I agreed we didn't really like. The movie itself, and
You can
again,
be stupid all night.
again this is
Yeah,
totally
That's me every night, bro.
and I know this is everybody's opinion, but our grades are everybody's opinion. But again, I'll give it a B minus because I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed the action. I enjoyed most of the soundtrack. It was, again, as others have said, pretty much action nonstop. The only reason I'm giving it a B minus, and again, this is just totally my opinion, is it didn't hold up to my rose-tinted glasses remembrance of the Transformers cartoon, and I'm sure I saw the movie, so I also see in the movie. That's the only reason I give it a B minus. I really did enjoy the movie, but I give it a B minus just
What's up, guys?
because
Car?
it in my mind it didn't hold up to what I remember from being
Hey.
a kid.
That's fine, man. If you want to give it a D or an F, that's totally your choice. But that's what I'm saying. That's why I ask these questions, because just to get a basis of what you like, dislike, how would you grade it? It's just a matter of opinion.
And I totally enjoyed the movie, and as others, I mean, pretty much all of us have agreed that the soundtrack was awesome. The animation was awesome because we don't get animation like that anymore, and the animation totally holds up. But I would give it a B minus just because my rose-tinted glasses from my childhood, it didn't hold up to my memory of, excuse me, the animated Transformers as a whole from what I remember as a kid.
Okay, all right, and same here. I have to give the movie an A because if I started picking out what was wrong with it, then I'm just literally nitpicking at this point. And most entertainment, ain't none of it perfect. I've said this before. No matter if it's movie, TVs, music, ain't nothing is perfect entertainment.
Yeah, you
But
did.
this is as close as you can get. It was a great movie. I love the soundtrack. I love the movie. I actually love the character progression because, as Holland stated out, and he's right, there's really hardly any slow moments, if any at all, in this movie. It's all continuous action of shit going on. And I enjoy that. It doesn't keep you waiting. If anything, it keeps you on the edge of your seat, wondering what's going to happen next. And we're here soon. I don't know when, but we're going to be doing G.I. Joe, the movie, also. And I felt the same way about that one.
Well, Tommy says he needs to go.
Yeah, I know he does. I know he does. He
Have a
always,
good night. Have a good night, Tommy. I'm glad
Tommy?
I got to watch this movie with you because you
Yeah,
pointed
me too.
out and explained a lot of things that
Tommy,
Yeah, man.
I
Tommy.
never would have got
Hasht-
if you
hashtag-
hadn't been there.
Hashtag me too, Tommy.
all right, Tommy.
It's always a pleasure to be able to sit here and have the time to be able to watch these movies and talk with somebody when I have time. Unfortunately, I mean, JJ knows I'm still running around like a chicken with my head cut off trying to get everything done. So I'm
Well,
always
not to-
somewhere and always doing something.
Not to prolong you, Tommy, but if you wouldn't mind closing it out for yourself and give your outro for me. And thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate it, JJ. Thanks for having me on. You guys can find me over at Tommy and Guinea Pig Collective, where we talk about old movies, old toys, retro toys being done right. And then every Monday, we at 6 p.m. Eastern, we have Going Old School Retro Discussions, where we get together and we talk about things just like this. We talk about things from the past that we enjoy and why we enjoy them. And we share it with everybody that's in the chat. Everybody has been in the chat. You all have been amazing. Thank you for contributing to the show. Make sure you smash that like button for JJ. And remember, never let anybody tell you what you can and can't say, what you should or should not watch, because your silence gives consent. I'll catch y'all next time.
Awesome,
Be well,
brother.
y'all.
Have a good one,
Later,
brother.
y'all.
Have a good one, brother. Good to see you as
Yeah.
always.
All
Yeah,
right.
catch you
Take
later,
care, Tommy.
Tommy. Yeah.
All right, guys. We're about an hour 20. That pretty much wraps it up, unless you guys have anything else you would like to say about it.
Good movie. Good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, the soundtrack was good.
And before we go tonight, Slasher, what you got picked out for next week? And I swear to God, you say Miami Connection, I'm kicking you off the panel.
No. Dude,
Slasher
you already-
picked Xanadu for some reason.
No. Yeah, I didn't pick Xanadu. Fuck you, man. I didn't pick that shit.
I deserve that, so I totally
I'll just-
take that. Fuck you,
I'll just bust
Slasher.
I'll just-
No,
I'll
I
just-
totally,
I'll
I
just
totally
bust
agree
balls.
with that because
Listen,
Hey,
I
Slasher.
deserve that. Fuck you.
Olivia
Slasher.
Newton-John is hot, yes, but Grease, I have a personal grudge against Grease, and I think like any musical involving
Tommy. I meant not Tommy.
Tommy ain't here, bro.
Slasher.
Tommy
Slasher.
left.
Let me assist you for a moment. Okay, continue.
All right, you son of a bitch. Anyway,
Oh, you tapped.
Why the fuck did I
Yeah,
get thrown
yeah.
backstage?
you,
I thought you were gonna throw Slasher
managed to-
backstage.
that- you
Why the
managed
fuck
to
did I
zap-
get thrown
it's
backstage?
funny how you managed to zap Han while
Yeah,
you trying to do that to me.
I thought you were gonna.
No,
zap
no. I was
Slasher.
trying to help Slasher out because of the Xanadu comment.
No, I'm okay. I get that. I'll take the fuck you from Slasher. I'll take getting kicked from you. JJ. I do deserve both of those.
Han, you know I'm playing. You know I love you, Han.
Oh, I know. I
Good
know.
man,
bro.
Han. So, JJ, Streets
Yeah,
of
man.
Fire. Streets of
Oh,
Fire.
for God's sake! I knew that was coming because I saw. Oh God!
Streets of Fire.
I've never wanted to see that movie, but I'll sit
Oh,
through it.
you're gonna see it.
I like 2 songs from that movie. That was it.
Dude, all you have to do is look at Diane Lane. That's all you gotta do.
Oh, she don't show no titties. It ain't no. It's not gonna be interesting.
She doesn't.
Wow.
But you can put your imagination to it.
Wow, so a woman's not interesting unless she's showing titties. Well, I just
No.
get out of here.
Well, no. More. I mean that in a movie that I really have no interest in watching.
Oh, wait.
And guess what? And guess what, Slasher? You happen to be in luck. It's
You know
freaking on. It's on Netflix.
Awesome.
All right, I'm getting my sound effect again.
Moira. All right. Moira, you're going to have to watch Streets of Fire with us from beginning to end, so you can have your own.
Heck no, first off.
You can't come running in with the Pearl Harbor and be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna watch the movie." Like, no,
Sounds like a
you gotta
chick.
watch the movie.
It looks like it's time for me to take a hint and just go fuck myself.
More
Onward,
loves that.
tally ho!
More loves that so much. Shit. And I think it's the,
Yeah,
I think
nah,
it's the
you gotta
tally
watch
ho.
it.
The tally ho is what finishes it for more. That's like the icing on
It
top of
does.
the cake.
Moira,
does.
watch the movie.
You guys are crazy.
Yeah? You knew this, man?
Yeah, no.
of Fire,
Actually, watch the
uh,
movie. Not come in and TikTok it the whole time.
Yeah.
I didn't TikTok it. I had to reach my phone and go and look into my files and find that sound effect and play it for you. Thank you.
All right.
No, I'm talking about while we were watching the movie.
I was not TikToking the entire time.
Yeah, and you still admitted that you were TikToking during.
Yeah, she found out it was a cartoon. She was like, "Yeah, I checked out right then."
Yep. I heard my daughter beating up my boyfriend. I had to go save him. And then,
No, you can't do that. No. I've got your attention right now. Let her beat his ass real quick.
no, this is earlier. Like, I had that to go check out. You know, I had to get a snack.
You're supposed to do all that before you come hang out.
Motherfucker.
Go look for some colors in.
Oh, it's getting all real now. She called me a motherfucker. All right, I got you. She got real.
Motherfuckers listen here.
I'm a motherfucker. Have you ever had sex, JJ, with a person that has had a child?
Yes, my
Then you're a-
ex-wife.
Well, then you're a motherfucker. I'm a motherfucker. My wife and I have had 2 kids, so I'm a motherfucker, technically.
I know that, but I don't usually travel that route. But she brought it up, so motherfucker it is. But anyway, got 6 people in the chat right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping this up. We're almost at an hour and a half. I want to thank everybody in the chat for coming in and hanging out and listening to our ramblings tonight. I want to thank the panel for coming in and watching the movie, whether you watched it or not.
You didn't let me
Oh.
pimp myself, JJ.
I ain't even got to that
Optic
point
Racer, I
yet.
don't know what you're
Nah,
saying.
nah,
No,
that's
I
not
thought-
it.
I thought that's
He's
what
not
you're doing. I'm
pointing at
sorry.
Han
I
Star-
apologize.
Han Star. He's getting into wrapping up now.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
I don't know what that means.
Let him wrap it up.
I know Optic's laughing at me. That's all I got. I know that's too
Look,
another Spanish for onward, tally ho.
Tally ho!
JJ's had a look on his face for the past 10 minutes that he wants to end this. So
Like,
No, I'm just
let me just end it all now. No,
no, not like that. No.
I know, just joking, obviously.
My God, woman, we're gonna have a talk. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming out and hanging out with us tonight. It means a lot to me, as always. We're going to be coming back next week. Apparently, we're doing fucking Streets of Fire.
Streets of Fire, baby. Michael Pare.
Oh,
Michael
fire.
Pare at his fucking finest, bro.
And you know what? The only thing I watch Michael Pare in is The Greatest American Hero.
Wait, you never saw Eddie and the Cruisers?
Nope.
Nobody but you saw Eddie and the Cruisers, baby.
I saw
nah.
it. I have a horrible memory, as JJ
No.
knows.
Plenty of people saw Eddie and the
I
Cruisers.
saw Eddie and the Cruisers.
So much they made it Eddie and the Cruisers too.
Oh,
For some
God. Well, they made
reason.
it Grease too. It doesn't mean it was a good idea.
Which sucked.
I don't remember
Right?
Eddie and the Cruisers 2. I remember somewhat Eddie and the Cruisers 1.
I didn't see Eddie and the Cruisers 2 for the same reason I didn't see Highlander 2.
Do you see this, Moira?
I see it. I googled
Okay.
it as soon as I saw it. I was like, that's the one interesting, buddy. So I was like,
So I'm gonna go around the panel because apparently I got someone eager to talk about himself. Slasher, man, tell everybody about yourself. Where can we find you?
Look, Optic Racer. Optic Racer wants to watch Streets of Fire. Optic Racer, you gotta get on Twitter. You gotta get on Twitter, Optic Racer, for when we watch Streets of Fire next week.
I'm right with you, Bones.
That's messed up. That's messed up. Hey, I gotta get on Twitter just to watch a movie. No. I can do without. Hey, Optic. If you want to see it and you have Netflix, it's on there.
No, but Optic
Optic
Racer
may not have
also-
Netflix. We don't know.
Optic Racer
I
is
said
always,
if.
he's always fucking cool, and he's always supporting everyone here,
Yeah.
and he's always throwing out like ideas
you.
for movies for us to watch.
Yeah, I agree. I sincerely agree. But
Love you, Optic.
anyway, Moira, did your first live stream in a while today? How'd it go?
It went all right. I had my girlfriend Irish Potatoes on.
Who? Oh yeah.
Potato Revan. Sorry. Potato Revan.
Yeah.
I remember that. Not everybody knows I call him that, but yeah. He was being a hyper little thing, but that's just him. But yeah, I figured I'd give it a go. It felt a little weird, but like at one point I had like 9 or 10 people. I was like, oh shit. Hey, not everybody's at work. They were just leaving work actually. I was like, oh shit.
Okay.
It went okay, but it felt kind of weird because I kind of had a plan, and then the plan went to shit because, like, so I lost my bank card, and I don't have any money on my
Good job.
PayPal. Such a dick. Anyway,
But you love me though. That's what matters.
not particularly right there. No,
Did you just call her a bitch?
No, I didn't.
No,
No,
she
you said
called
but.
him a-
You said but.
she
Did you
called
say
him a
but you
dick.
love me?
Yes.
I'm
I
sorry.
said, but you love me
Anyway.
though.
My mind,
What?
you know how
This is good.
sometimes your mind finishes what people says, even
Yeah.
if they didn't really say that.
Well, we know
In
where your
my
mind was
mind-
at, but meow.
Yeah.
In my mind, you said, "But bitch, you love me," and my mind was like, "Warrior is gonna tear you apart."
But
Well, at least I'll be one step closer to what I'm looking for anyway.
well, I see that Sith Lord has woke up and chose violence today. But okay. Anyway.
No.
But I was hoping to pay for like a couple of classes online for Georgetown University, and I realized that was not going to happen. So I was like, well, shit. That was pretty much half of what I was going to do, was like kind of show everybody what I was going to be studying. and that went to crap. And I was like, oh,
Optic Racer, you're the man, buddy.
yes, we love you.
Love you, Optic Racer. And Shifty Gizm. Everybody in the chat, basically.
Yeah,
Love you all.
Yeah,
we
I
love
appreciate.
We love everybody.
Yep.
I see a lot of the regular names every time I go live, and it's greatly appreciated. You guys really don't know what that means to me because, you know, there's hundreds of thousands of channels on YouTube, and you guys chose to be here. You know, God knows you had choices, and I greatly appreciate it.
I love the way you said it. God knows you had choices. I love the way
Yeah,
you said that. It was cute, though.
and you picked me, you know, and I'm humbled by that.
It's the truth, though.
I know it was cute the way he said it. Like,
You know, but anyway, what else, Maura? Where can we find you at?
oh, gracious! Everybody knows where to find me. There's not much to find though. But like that's
Yeah, ladies and
my
gentlemen,
channel
she's
name
right
there.
here. Check it out.
That,
Yeah,
that's my
there you
channel
go.
name right there.
She's ticking and a talking.
I'm not you know what? These little fuck. Where's like?
Don't leave. Don't leave. Don't leave.
Now,
Don't leave.
don't
Don't
leave.
leave. Don't leave.
Don't leave just because he
He's the
said.
Hold on.
I'm not TikToking. I am sitting here. My shit's over there.
Does your shirt actually say all these flavors? And you? Oh, I thought you said. I
You
thought
chose to be salty.
no. I was just talking about my mind finishes things. I totally
Oh,
thought
me?
your shirt would have said all these flavors, and you chose me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Maura. I don't mean that to be disrespectful.
Giggity.
That's just what my mind finished the top of your shirt as.
Your mind is finishing a lot of stuff right now.
it
you've
is.
got a lot
It
to
is.
unpack, I think.
I've had several beers, and like I said, I don't mean any disrespect more. That's just what my mind finished your shirt as, and I was like, okay, makes sense. Meow.
There you go, Maura.
Maybe. I feel like kind of losing like my resolve. I'm afraid.
Okay. All right, Jens. Where can we find you at other than with the other soy nerds?
Ah,
Well-
shit.
No, it's raging against the soy nerd.
Yeah, yeah. Well, figure it out. Sometimes you know you have to mingle in that with them because I don't hate them. I just don't want to be like them. But, yeah. My channel, Jens Pedder, and that, and I've got Twitter at 27A Pedersen. Where I post.
That sounds like a medication.
It kind
Yeah.
Or a strange address. Like I'm not even making sure.
It's my name. I should have like put somewhat like
well,
more.
you can go in and change it. You know, you can go in and
Yeah.
change it, right?
Yeah, but I'm thinking back now. Like I've done it. Like so, if I change it, then people might. But I ain't got all that many subscribers, so like. It would be like I could easily let them know.
Oh, we'll try and help you.
But I think I'll just keep it because
I
it's
just
one of them where,
realized, not to interrupt you, but I just realized, Jens, I don't follow you, so I'm going to follow you.
I think you
I
did.
know.
Stalker.
I think YouTube just kind of does that.
Stalker.
And I don't follow Mikey. Not that he messes with Twitter. That I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Jens. I've said that a lot on this stream that I don't mean to interrupt people.
oh, you want to feel
Stop doing it.
I've been finishing things in my mind that people are saying and interrupting people, so I'm sorry. I apologize.
Okay, you're good. You're good. Your turn's coming, so we're gonna fuck with you too. Watch out. But anyway, go ahead, Jens.
Yeah, I do a few live streams now and again, and like hopefully I'll be posting some stuff and that, some more videos, sort of, because the Shang-Chi hopefully is going to do real good, and then I can like start bragging about I called it doing real good.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I'm YouTube. I'm sorry. Is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, for God's sake, would you tell these motherfuckers where they can find you?
Oh Lord.
I'm youtube.com/Honstar. Actually, I should change the name of my channel to Team Honstar because make me smile again, please. JJ,
How are you going to
my
take off the
brother-
hat?
my brother JJ there. He's part of Team Honstar. Chris Knight's part of Team Honstar. We do fun live streams. Chris and JJ will do live streams on my channel on Sundays because with my work schedule I can't. I'm involved in fun live streams on Tuesday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, Team Honstar. I really appreciate JJ and Chris for everything they do on my channel. Keeping Team Honstar going, keeping Honstar going. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HonstarYT. You make a good point. I didn't put the @ in the HonstarYT. I need to change that. You can find me here sometimes if I'm available to be here on JJ's Random Movie Reviews. You can also find me on Rambling Canucks channel. We do if you're a history nerd like Rambling Canuck and Hour, we do a normally he releases it on Tuesdays or Wednesdays if I remember right. We pre-record it the week before, or maybe anyway, Wednesdays or Thursdays. Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursdays. Follow Rambling Canuck on Twitter and subscribe to his channel. We do a history video called What If. It's one of his series. We're history nerds, so we look at things in history like what if Germany in World War II had focused on jet aircraft technology, although we call them Dolphy because YouTube doesn't like you really using the name of the actual person from Germany in World War II. We do fun things like that in the What If series, kind of like alternate history talks, where we both kind of give our opinions of alternate history things. So you can find me on that. And as always, JJ, everybody here, Amora, Jens, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yawns. Fucking yawns. Oh my god.
Yeah. Jens.
Dang.
well, after that
Uh,
fail, that it'd been
Yes.
going then. It's like, yeah.
There's no A there, so I don't know.
Like
why
you
I
might
said
as well
Jens.
call you Jen Star. Now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, And also, again, going towards Dwarf Nose like we do. And also going with Team Honstar, and JJ is also a part of this. Subscribe to Chaos Central. Follow Chaos Central on Twitter. They have a lot of awesome creators over there doing different streams and videos and things on Chaos Central. JJ, I know, is involved in some of his own shows and some of other people's shows on the panel or whatever on Chaos Central. So definitely, I'm going to.
And that's going to be on Twitter at Central Chaos.
Yeah, and definitely, it's Chaos Central on YouTube, right, JJ?
Yep.
Definitely
Chaos with a K.
Definitely go over there because you have a lot of awesome creators that are collaborating with each other, doing some really cool videos and streams. So, as always, JJ / Moira Jens. And Tommy, everybody that was here earlier. It's always a pleasure, and I enjoy watching these movies. Like I said, this is my weekend. Not to get long-winded, but it's Saturday. Drink a couple beers, watch a fun, normally older movie that I haven't seen in forever. So that's about it.
I'm actually glad your days off changed so you could actually be involved with this.
Yeah, because I really enjoy spending time with everybody and having a couple drinks and watching these old movies. A lot of them I don't remember that I've watched, like Transformers the movie. So it's really cool to watch these older movies that I may or may not remember seeing, and then have a conversation about it and just hang out and have a good time with good people. So, as always, everybody, enjoy your company. Thanks for having me on, JJ.
Same, huh?
Yeah, man.
And Slasher, because I know this is
Cool,
you all's
cool chilling with you, man.
co-stream.
Cool chilling with you.
What was that?
It's always cool chilling with you.
Oh, yeah.
You're fun to talk to. Everyone here is
All right.
fun to talk to.
All right, guys. With that being said, thank you everybody for coming. Thank you everybody on the panel, and Tommy for being here. I know you had to dip out early, but
I've said this earlier, and not to say it multiple times again, but RR perfectly kind of hit what I was saying about you can't actually really say his name on YouTube without YouTube hitting you. The guy with the Charlie Chaplin mustache from World War II.
hey, leave Charlie Chaplin out of this.
I like what Moira calls him. She says "funny mustache man." That's what she refers to.
Angry little mustache man.
Yeah, angry little mustache man that was.
You ever want to know what Charlie Chaplin was thinking when he had a bad day? There you go. But all right, guys. Thank you everybody for showing
Y'all
up.
seen The Great Dictator? I'm taking it.
No. We don't talk about Yahtzees.
No, you'd have to see the movie. Like, he's actually like, it's kind of like the movie Dave, where they like something happens to the president, so they find someone who's just like the president. Take his
Mind you,
place.
JJ does not like comedies. Mind you, JJ is he has a heart of stone, so comedies don't affect him in any way.
Yeah. You know. I stopped doing randomness for a reason. It's because I ain't fucking funny. I don't get the humor.
Yes, you're like Darius.
I'm not going to
Yeah.
say what I was
Darius.
because you'll boot me again. Darius, what's
Oh,
up, bro?
Darius came in at the Darius with the running at the end. What's
Yeah.
up, Darius?
I appreciate you being on my stream last night, Darius. It's always a pleasure also to hang out and talk to you.
But yeah, guys. Thanks to everybody for coming. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. Everybody say good night.
Good night,
everybody.
Peace
Good
out.
night, John Boy.
Yeah. Nice.
Or as
There you
the
go,
queen
pony
would do.
boy.
Good night, Texas. Wherever you
He's
are.
trying to do that. The Queen of England. way. You gotta cup the hand slightly and do the.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I
the
didn't
proper
think-
wave. You're doing
Yeah.
the proper wave.
Yeah, that's